next unit, it is talk about the R programming fundamentals. What are the fundamentals are used in the R programming? Okay, we'll see that. Objectives of fundamental: to learn the concept of loops and conditional statements, to learn user-defined functions and implement the R program. So first in this R programming, so we have to using the statement, it is the conditional statement is if else. So an if statement can be followed by an optional else statement which execute when the Boolean expression is false. If you use the true or false method, then we can using the if else statements. For the syntax, how the syntax is present. The basic syntax for creating an if-else statement in R is if the Boolean expression, the statements will execute if the Boolean expression is true. Otherwise, else, the statement will execute if the Boolean expression is false. Okay, so this is the two condition it is given. So if means there is a Boolean expression is given. If it is true, then you can come out, else you can run the second statement. So if the Boolean expressions evaluate to be true, then if the if block of code will be executed. Otherwise, the else block code will be executed. So this is the condition it should be used for the if else statements. This is the flow diagram. The condition, if condition is true, then the code to be executed and come out. If it is the condition is false, you go for the else one and execute the code and come. So this is the simple flow diagram to show the operation of if conditions. So this is the example. What is the truth? Then the truth and the print, the truth is found, else otherwise the truth is not found. So this is the true. True means that is executed. False means it's go for the else statement and printed. So this is the main condition to be checked in the else, if else. Then if else statement it is used. So it is the looping of statement. Looping of if else statement. If the statement can be followed by an optional else, if else statement, which is very useful to test various conditions using the single if else statement. When using if else statement, there are the few points to keep in the mind. And if can have 0 or one else, and it must come after any else if. And if can have 0, too many else ifs, and they must come before the else. So this is the loop condition. It should be used for the if else statement. It is called the nested if. Once an else if succeed, none of the remaining else if or else will be tested. So first the else if first we have to run it that it is true, it has come out. Otherwise, the loop of nested if should be tested. Okay, so this is syntax. The basic syntax for creating the if else statements is all the Boolean expressions. When the Boolean expression is true and it come out, else the Boolean expression 2 and the Boolean expression 2 is true, it come out. Otherwise, the else go for the Boolean expression. Third condition will be checked. Else the execute when none of the above conditions are true. Whenever the if condition is true, it come out to display the result. Otherwise, go for the else if statement. Then it will check each and every statement. This is called the nested if. So this is the example for the nested if statement. Next, while loop. The while loop execute the same code again and again until the stop condition is met. While the condition is running, up to the loop will be stopped. So this is the while loop condition. The basic syntax for while loop is test the expression the statement is given. First, the testing expressions. This is the condition will be checked here. If the condition is true, it will go for the statement to run that. So this is the while loop statement. So before we can check the statement, before we can check the condition, then we can run the statement. So this is the kind of method it used for the while loop statement. This is a follow diagram. The condition is checked. Then if the condition is true, then go for the block until the condition is finished. Otherwise, if the condition is false, it will go for the out. So this is the main condition. It should be used for the while loop statements. So for example, hello world, the while loop is the count, it should be 2 times, while the condition is less than 7. So less than 7, then the condition will be checked and increment 1 plus 1 time. So CNT is plus 1. So this is the way less than 7. So the particular condition will be checked and to display the results. So this is the while loop condition. Next, for loop condition. For loop is the repetition control structure that allows you to efficiently write the loop that needs to execute the specific number of times. So number of times, it is specific number of time is given. Then based on the number of time, we can run that particular loop. Okay. The basic syntax for creating the for loop statement is for value in vectors and statements. Execute the statement. See that the letters is 1:4. 4 times the particular loop will be executed. I in B, there is a vector is given, the print of I value. So this is the way that for loop statement will be running. This is the diagram, flow diagram for the for loop. Get each element of the vector, process the statement. If the condition is checked, if condition is not false, it's go for the until that condition is true. Then if it is true, go out. So this is the method it is used for the for loop statement. Next, that OR functions. What is the OR function? A function is a set of statements organized together to perform the specific task. OR has the large number of built-in functions and the user can create their own functions. So OR is having the function, is having the group of multiple inbuilt function. It is used in the OR programming. In the OR, a function is an object. So the OR interpreter is able to pass control of the function along with the argument that may be necessary for the function to accomplish the action. So the function in turn performs a task and return control to the interpreter as well as any result which may be stored in other object. So what is the definition of the function? So function definition, you see the syntax for that one. Then the R function is created by using the keyword function. So the keyword function is used for the function definition. Okay. The basic syntax of R function is, see that the function underscore name. It is a keyword function. It is used for the function definition. Function of argument 1, argument 2. Then function body and so on. So this is the way then it is a syntax for the function. The function components. The different parts of the functions components are used. One is the function name is present, argument, function body, and return value. So the 4 main components should be present in the function. Suppose if you write the function programming, then we can use the 4 main components. Okay. So the function name. What is the function name? This is the actual name of the function. It is stored in the R environment as an object with this name. Argument. Argument is the placeholder. Argument is the variable. Okay. So when the function is invoked, you pass a value to the argument. Argument are optional. That is, the functions may be containing the no arguments. Also, argument can have the default values. So with or without argument, we can run that function. Next one is function body. The function body contains the collection of statements that defines what the function does. So this is the function body. Next one, return value. The return value of the function is the last expressions in the function body to be evaluated. OR has many inbuilt functions which can be directly called in the program without defining the first. We can also create and we use our own function refers to as the user-defined function. So, or it has the so many built-in functions directly used for that functions using in the particular component. So we can also create and use. We can also create the own function. It is called the user-defined function. It is possible in R programming. So next one is built-in function. Built-in function is nothing but it is already the function. It should be built in the based on that R programming language. Simple example: sequence, mean, maximum, sum, and paste. So these are the main, that is the keywords it is used for the built-in functions. So there are the directly called by the user written programs. So it is the R functions to create. See that create the sequence of number 32 to 44. Now then we have to using the print of sequence 32 to 44. So automatically we have to define the value 32, 33, 34 to up to 44. We can get the sequence. So find the mean value. So mean of the numbers 25 to 82. Then it is the 25 colon 82. So the mean of 25 colon 82 to be present. So automatically we can calculate. These are the built-in function. Next function, built-in function is sum of 41 to 68. So we can sum it 41, 42, 43 up to 68, then we can get the result. So this is the sum of the function. It is, these are the built-in function used in the R programming. User-defined function. User-defined function means user can design the particular function to run the program. We can create user-defined function in R. There are the specific to what the user wants, and once created, they can be used like the built-in functions. Below is an example and how the function is created and used. So user-defined functions, let's see the syntax: create the function to print the square of numbers in sequence. So that is the for loop statement is used for here. For I of 1 is to A, then we can print the B value. So this is the function to square of numbers. So the square number I of 2. So I to the power of 2, the print B. So the squared value it should be fine to get the results. That is the user-defined function. Next, calling a function. Calling a function is a print the square of number for same example. New dot function, function of A. Then for I in 1 is to A, then I squared to print B. Call the function new dot function, supplying the 6 as an argument. So argument is given here. Here the function of A is given, but here the argument is 6. So we can call the function, it is called the new function. The new function of argument is 6. This is the calling functions. So this is the way that is a user-defined function it is used. Okay. Next one, calling the function without an argument. Without an argument means here we have to see that 6 is an argument. So function of 6 is to be present. This is the with function using the argument. Here without function, see the function of nothing, that data it should not present. So that is called that without the argument function. If it is present 6 inside the that braces, the new dot function 6 means 6 or 5 or 2 or whatever, any one of the variable it is present or values is present, it is called the argument passing. So without the null value it should be present, it is called as the without the argument function. Here see that calling the function with argument values by position by name. The argument, see that create the function with argument, function of function ABC. So see that here, that is the no value it should be present, it is without argument. Here values are present A, B, C, it is the with argument. Okay, the result A into B plus C, then print the results. Call the function by the position of argument, then 5, 3, 11. Okay, so 5, 3, 11 is nothing but then we can give that value of the position of the particular argument value. Call the function by name of the argument. A is equal to 11, B is equal to 5, and C is equal to 3. So this is the calling function with assign the values. So this is the, see that, if you see that, with the argument, without argument, with the values. So this is the way that the OR functions it's used. Okay. Next, calling a function with default argument. So that is any default argument, we have to use it. We can define the value of the argument in the function definition and call the function without supplying any argument to get the default result. But we can also call such functions by supplying the new values of the argument and get non-default results. Okay. So with the default arguments means, see that the new functions, the function having A3 and B6, the resultant value and print the result. Calling the functions without giving any argument, the argument is not given. The calling functions with the new values of the argument 9, 5. So automatically A is equal to 9 and B is equal to 5. So that value, default value is to be assigned to assigning the particular argument value. So this is called as the calling the function with the default argument. Okay. Next one, lazy evaluation of function. Create a function with the argument, new function, function of A, B, if the argument is present, print A to the squared, print A, B. Evaluate the functions without supplying one of the argument. So new dot function of 6. Automatically, that is the function, it should be present. Then the valuation function should be present using the argument. So these are the main aspects. It should be under into the R programming language. So the function is will see that and arrays are see that. So what is that main? That is a summary and idea about the points to be pondered. The data science community has been growing over the past decades. Okay, the tools used with the industry has been a driving force behind this unprecedented growth. Hence, learning a programming language of R empowers us to contribute to this awesome field. It provides many statistical techniques such as the linear modeling, non-linear modeling, statistical test, classifications, and clustering algorithms are used. One of the greatest strengths of the R language is the large community that use it. So it is used in the large number of problems to solve it. Okay. Therefore, many optimized libraries are readily available to make the lives of early programmers in the simple. So this is the main points to study about the R programming language.